My name is Danny. I'm 29, and I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but none sting quite like the night I weaponized my past to hurt the man who loved me most. I didn't scream. He didn't either. There was no fight, no slammed doors, no breaking plates, just one sentence. One quiet, pointed sentence that ended everything. I keep replaying that moment over and over in my mind, trying to understand how I let something so cruel fall from my lips. I've always known words could destroy. I just never thought I'd be the one swinging the sword. It started like most evenings in our apartment. Jay had come home later than usual, his shirt wrinkled, eyes tired. He'd taken on extra shifts at work, covering for a coworker out sick. I knew that. I knew how exhausted he must have been. But in that moment, I didn't care. We were supposed to have dinner, just the two of us. I'd made reservations, planned everything. I wanted something special. Just once. Something that made me feel seen, appreciated. But he forgot. Again. He walked in and dropped his keys on the table like it was any other night. "Hey, babe," he said, smiling as he leaned in to kiss me. I turned my face away. He blinked. "What's wrong?" And just like that, everything I'd bottled up came spilling out. The forgotten plans, the missed texts, the way I felt like he was always putting me second to everything. His job, his family, his stress. I told him I was tired of always giving and never receiving. He tried to explain, said he was doing his best, that he thought I understood, that he didn't know tonight was so important. But I didn't want understanding. I wanted to hurt him. And so I said it. Maybe if you treated me the way Ryan did, I wouldn't feel so invisible. Ryan, my ex, the one who showered me with gifts, compliments, attention, the one who, despite his flaws, made me feel like I was the only woman in the room. Jay stood still, his expression unreadable. He didn't shout. He didn't argue. He didn't even look surprised. He just stared at me for a long, heavy second. And then he said the quietest thing I've ever heard. "Then maybe you should have stayed with him." There was no venom in his voice, no sarcasm, just surrender. He turned around, walked into the bedroom, and closed the door. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, like a final page turning in a story I didn't realize was ending. At first, I thought he'd come back out, that we'd yell or cry or do something to fix it. But he didn't. I sat on the couch for over an hour. The TV was on, but I wasn't watching. I was listening, waiting for the sound of footsteps, a door creaking open, something. It never came. When I finally went into the bedroom, he was gone. Some clothes were missing, his sneakers, the shaving kit he always took when traveling. I stood in the middle of the room, numb. There was a note on my pillow, just 2 lines. "I love you, but I won't fight to be enough anymore. I deserve someone who doesn't compare me to a ghost." I broke down. Not because he left, but because he was right. Jay was never the loud one, never the one who won arguments. He loved with silence, with consistency, with small acts of devotion. He held my hand when I was anxious in crowds, brought me soup when I had cramps, listened to every version of the same story I told after work, but I kept measuring him against someone who didn't even treat me right, just treated me loudly. Ryan bought flowers after yelling, took me on trips after making me cry. Jay never needed apologies like that because he never hurt me that way, and yet I told him he wasn't enough. I told him someone else had loved me better. What I really meant was, I missed feeling special, and instead of asking for it, I punished him for not knowing. A few days passed, no calls, no texts. The silence grew heavier with each hour. I messaged him once. "Jay, I didn't mean it. I was upset. You've always been the one who showed up. I'm sorry." He didn't reply. A week later, I found out through a mutual friend that he moved in with his cousin across town. No drama, no new girl, just gone. It's been almost 3 weeks now, and every night I still sleep on one side of the bed. I still listen for his key in the lock. I still wish I could take it all back, but I can't. And if you're reading this, if you're with someone who tries, who stays, who listens and loves you in quiet, dependable ways, please don't mistake silence for neglect. Don't punish them for not being flashy, for not being someone else. Because sometimes the loudest love isn't the best love. Sometimes the quiet ones carry you the farthest. Jay did. And I broke him. If you ever feel the need to compare someone to your past, stop. Ask yourself if it's really about the person or if it's about how you're feeling in the moment, because those words, they stay. And sometimes they become the reason the person who loved you most walks away and doesn't come back.